This particular vehicle is a 2001 Chevy Silverado, but this repair applies to GMC Sierra and Chevy Silverado from the years 99 through the old body 2007s. It's all going to be the same. The power window regulator quit working, the window doesn't work, it doesn't move at all, and I'm going to pull this door panel off here and swap it out. Okay, there's a little panel back here behind the handle. See how that locks in? This goes in like that, so you want to pry the back side of it out and then pull it out. If you pull it all the way out on the front side, you'll break that clip. That just pushes in with the little tab on the bottom where it slides down in. There's two push pins there. Okay, there's two bolts that retain the panel in. There's one right there and there's one right here underneath the handle. They're both 7mm. So pull those out. Okay, grab the handle of the door and lift up. Up and out. Come right off. One more thing I can plug here. Heated seats. What the hell? And there's one little light bulb plugged back here. I'm curious if this light bulb works. And there's a speaker, a tweeter actually, in the door panel itself, separate from the speaker that's in the door. Set the panel out of the way. The metal sliver on my finger. Okay. Okay, I'm going to unhook the electrical connector from the motor itself. Look at it, that's a cable. That's part of the cable right there. It really came apart. The guy said he had it down just about an inch in what he called the smoker's position, and then the window wouldn't go up, and he manually persuaded it to go up. So the regulator is broke. Okay. Now there's a 10mm bolt here and one right here, and those are the bolts that actually pinch the window onto the regulator itself. Let's see if my suction cup still works after all these years of sitting in the toolbox. Okay, and there are 3 bolts, all 10mm, 1, 2, 3 on this side, and 1, 2, 3 on this side. And then for the motor itself, there's another bolt right there. Now if you can see, there's little slots in the door on each side right here. There's little metal tabs. Those are part of this assembly. Mess out of the way. Okay. Now if you turn it sideways, it'll come right out of there. That thing's all sorts of falling apart. Okay, here's the new one. It's a little bit different than the old one. It doesn't have the metal parts, the little tabs that go in there. So I'm going to pull these. Comes with bolts already supplied on it. I'm going to remove them. Okay, let's go ahead and get this put into place. I'm going to put the rear one in first, sideways. And then I'll put the front half in sideways. Up that stud, I don't know if you can see that stud in the bottom there. We'll just leave them loose until we get everything started. Again, those are 10 millimeter. Now I'm gonna plug in the window switch and run the window up so that the window regulator is up in about this area here. I'll lower the window down so I can tighten up the other two bolts, the actual clamps that clamp onto the glass itself. When you install the new regulator, it's in the all the way down position. I need to plug that one in. Okay. Hold the glass down. If you don't have a suction cup, just use tape or a wood cardboard wedge or whatever means you have. Okay. window's sitting down in the clamp right here. I don't recommend using the little impact driver, the electric tool or an air tool for that matter, on the glass. It'd be real easy to over tighten it. Just snug it up. Okay, I'm going to roll it down a little bit. Sure the glass is down. Okay, let's test it out before we put the door all back together. Alright, it's binding. Let's do this. Let's loosen these back up and run it up. Well, that's probably what caused the original one to go bad. Oh, Jesus, no wonder why it smells shit, Jakey. That's some stinky shit right there. Okay, the new regulator's installed. I've turned on the key here. I'm going to plug in the window switch. The new regulator comes installed in the all the way down position. So the little clamps that actually hold the glass are all the way down. We're going to bring those up just a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to lower the window down. If you don't have a suction cup, you can use a little wooden wedge or a plastic wedge or duct tape or whatever to hold the window up. I'm going to lower the window down, set it inside. Okay, it's setting right down inside the clamps. I don't want to tighten them up yet because as the window goes up, the window will shift in the track, and I don't want the window to bind. So now, with it setting in the clamps, roll the window all the way up, and now you can see one bolt is right there and one is right there. Tighten them up when it's in the up position. Just hand tight. Don't use a power tool on this because these are just the clamps that hold the window. You don't want to break the glass. And by not tightening it until it's all the way up, that will have allowed the window to settle into its position, and now it shouldn't bind when it goes up and down. Much faster. Okay. It's done. We're going to put it all back together. They should have made these with Velcro for as much as these things come off over the life of the vehicle. Okay, the door panel goes on. It's got these little clips right here on the bottom and right here along the top, and it just sets inside these and pushes down. So let's hook our wiring back up. There's a little light over here that doesn't even work, but we'll hook it back up because it's hooked up. We've got our tweeter wire that's hanging loose, and heated seat wire, and then these 3 wires, we'll just pull these through here. Those are for the window switch. Let's line everything up. It's also real important. Make sure your little slide lever for your lock right here is lined up when you put it back together too. Or the lock will pop off in your hand. Now we'll run those 2 7mm bolts back in, screws more or less. Alright, let's put our lock back on. It pushed right out, which isn't a big deal. You can see it's held on with, it's got one little push lock tab right there and one right there that just slides together. So they're lined up, snap it back into place. Alright, let's put our trim piece back on. If you remember, it's got one little tab that slides in from the back, it slides forward, and then the clips are right here. So pull the handle back a little bit to get it in a position. There's that. Well, this just, it's got 2 little tabs on it. And my window switch, the locking tabs came off, so I'm going to pull those out of there real quick. This is a 16-year-old vehicle, and I'm guessing it's probably not the first window regulator it's had. It's probably been apart before. Make sure we're good to go before we put it all back together, and we are. I'm just going to push in a little bit on those metal tabs so I don't have to stress them too much to get it back together, and that is it. We have a working power window. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching.